Welcome, everyone. Welcome to the 364th Knowledge Seekers Workshop for Thursday, January 21st, 2021. This is a broadcast of the Keshe Foundation Spaceship Institute Education Department and part of the public teachings in English. My name is Rick Crum. I'll be a host today. And of course, we are joined with Mr. Mehran Keshe of the Keshe Foundation, as we have for the last 7 years continuously, every single week at this time. And I welcome Mr. Keshe. Hello, are you there?
Yes, good morning, good day to you, as usual, wherever and whenever you listen to this series of Knowledge Seekers of Keshe Foundation and Spaceship Institute. We welcome you back as we are moving from the completion of the 7th year into the 8th year of the operation and teaching, and forever expanding the knowledge in each level of physicality, the soul, and creation and the cosmos. We have entered a phase as of today that first of all we would like to welcome, and in so many ways a beginning of a new horizon in the world of politics, with the inauguration of His Excellency President Biden of United States into the White House. We see this as a huge step towards the beginning of the world peace, and in so many ways a man had to feel the pain of the loss to understand the cause and the reason for peace. We've seen during the vice presidentship of President Biden the most outrageous killings around the world during the 8 years administration of Obama. With the loss of his son, he has pained and he has felt the pain of a loss, and he has become the banner of his peace. Man has to feel the pain that matures a man to understand what the pain has created through the conduct of the totality of the humanity. In so many ways, we see the new administration as a flag bearer of peace, and as we have directly been approached, we will respond positively to administration of Biden in sharing the technology and science in a direct way between the two nations of Iran and United States and the Chinese. We have responded positive and will take steps to bring now, as the banner of the new administration is science and technology, to add the knowledge of the Keshe Foundation into the armaments of peace. In so many ways, we see the administration of his second in command, is Her Excellency Mrs. Harris, as another strength in bringing the China much closer to the United States and a banner of unification of the communism and democracy together. Mrs. Harris has a long history of active communist leadership in the United States in different organizations, and understands both sides, both the culture and political scene in diversity, which is needed for peace to be applicable. We welcome both souls to be the souls of peace. In so many ways, we try to add to this knowledge, that this knowledge becomes the backbone of many activities to come. We have cooperated with the administration before during the 5+1, and hopefully as of today, we'll see a new move to bring peace back further into Middle East. It will not be an easy path. What we pray for the soul of those who are involved and getting involved in the peace negotiation, that we move next step towards collective peace and evolution into science and technology. In so many ways, the scene has been set for this. We have Corona, which is devastating the nations. We have seen the tools of war cannot stop this enemy in no front for the human race. 400,000 lost in one nation. plus millions on others. If the statistics is correct or not, if we lost something somewhere or not. Keshe Foundation has been in the forefront of finding and seeing what this disease does. Doesn't matter what name you gave to it. This weekend is exactly 12 months since we launched the One Cup, One Life, and we have saved many lives. Many of you and the people you know, and many different nations have used it to walk away from the pains of it. In so many ways, we have received more news on how some nations in the background have used the One Cup, One Life to keep their economy, keep the industry, and keep their nation intact without the others to know. In the coming days, Keshe Foundation will release information on how the Chinese government has put enforcement, the use of Cup 1 as part of the essential work of the day in Chinese industry. Which means why the China is so active and does not show the sign of Corona as such, it has made this part of the fabric of the society to work in the background in industrial zones. Maybe this is what the Americans and the rest have to learn, and we build on it. The information is in the hand of the Chinese, but with the operation, what we see, the Chinese have to learn that they cannot use this to create mayhem and havoc on the others while they keep their own industry and their lives moving forward. This is not correct when a man steals a gift. This gift and its application should be openly shared by the Chinese authorities. We will open the direction and the dimension how the Chinese have managed to use the GANS technology to curb the, what we call the menace of this virus. In so many ways, we don't look at it as dishonesty, we look at it as keeping what we call the winning card in the pocket. This is part of what Chinese should have not done, but my praise and my hope is that the Chinese administration moves back to working in the correct manner, that their talk and their action in trying to help the world stays and becomes one. In so many ways, we have reached the point of peace, and we have reached the point that everyone now wants to create the condition of peace, that in totality, mankind will move into the new dimension and direction. As I said, the only thing which is left for humanity is unification of the religious leaders wanting peace, not peace on the surface talk and creating war to create more income underneath. My call goes to all religious leaders. Step down. Step down from your position, that in time man will realize that how you have betrayed the soul of the man for centuries, and the outcome will not be so nice if the mankind takes the steps against and leaving the whole religious belief by flocks. In not one and twos, as we saw in some nations, overnight they turn against religion, and this point will not be good for any of the religions, doesn't matter in what dimension and direction. My call goes on Keshe Foundation Knowledge Seekers. In the teaching of today, we will teach you more for you to understand the operation of your soul, more for you to understand the essence of the creation, and in so many ways trying to create a condition that you can live a peaceful life. To understand where your soul is, how you operate, and how the physicality and the soul of the man find their operation in the body of the man. That for many of you who say, I cannot see my soul, I cannot feel my soul, is exactly the way as you say, I have no emotion, I have no feeling. This will change. From today's teaching, as I said, we step forward to 21st of March to bring that condition that you understand more about your dimension of physicality and your soul. In this process, Keshe Foundation, as of today, has started the launch of a new system where it creates a peaceful condition for man and peaceful condition and security for many of you in respect to the present condition. The launch of what we just showed, the enhancement air unit, is one of the first steps that will bring peace to many of you. In the process of developing this system, by changing the flow of the air, not to just for what we call recreation. In these systems, we developed a simple technology that by circulation of the air, we increase the negative oxygen level, which brings more comfort than living to man. This we have tested extensively in China over 2 years, and in China has become part of the military application as we supported and helped during my stay in China. Now, for the first time, we released this technology on the back of the Iranian report on Corona, which was released and authorized by the Iranian authorities to be published as a scientific paper, which is accepted into public, where this new system will change many of your fears of today. It's been developed in conjunction with understanding of the change of the field strength in the universe and how continuously we need to be able to change the strength of the fields to the strength that we as humans can live in the environment that lives and stays balanced on a continuous basis for the soul of the man and the physicality of the man in standing energy packs, which we call viruses. In the space technology of today, we consider, as we have taught many years, viruses are the biggest menace and killer for mankind in the space, as in the space there are no amino acids that man can get infected by. We do not die of infection and other things. We mainly die due to interaction of the strong gravitational magnetic fields that our body cannot stand, and then it evolves through it. In the present science of today, we call it the simplest way of what we call the fields of the energies of our universe, the gamma rays and the X-rays, and what we've seen through the nuclear weapon technology as harmful. Now you can imagine when you enter into space, much stronger fields in a different dimension, what they will do to the body of the man. The new air enhancement unit is the space level technology, which has been brought in a rapid way for mankind to learn how to change its environments from the interaction of the plasmatic magnetic fields of the universe on a continuous basis. That means when you travel in depth of the space, any energy pack, which we call virus, enters the environment of the spaceship, you have already neutralized the environment at the level of the body of the man. We shall see no death through viruses, through the development of this new technology, which has been released today in the space development to come. We will see this unit as part of integral part of the space travels of the future. Maybe as soon as next couple of years, it will be implemented by European Space Agency, NASA and the Russians to be on board of space programs. Don't forget, in early 2000, when NASA saw the problems and they could not solve the lightning which was occurring in the eye of the astronauts, seeing flashes of light. In work with the scientists at Washington University, Keshe Foundation submitted a new technology on the nano level to block the fields of the cosmos into the body, and has been highly effective. This is on the back of the space technology we delivered to the Americans into early 2000 to the humanity. In a way, it's the first time mankind has the ability to change its environment through the development of the new science and technology, that the viruses and the bacteria become part of the structure that can be handled simultaneously in the depth of the space. In a way, as I said in past days, the new air enhancement unit is the gift which we received from the space program of the United States as Teflon. Now we share this knowledge and this technology rapidly across the planet, that in a way we give it as a gift to the new administration of the United States for humanity, to use it wisely and understand there is a chance to purify the air, purify the energies of the air, not just on the atomic level, but on the energy levels that we call all sorts of things in the dimensions of use for deeper space. The launch of this new air enhancement unit will bring a rapid change in many of our space programs, in allowing the man to become the space travelers of tomorrow. On the other hand, in the next week or two, Keshe Foundation will release an additive that you can add to the paints in your houses in a rapid way, to bring the same condition to the environment of the house, in increasing what we call negative oxygen, and with it the change of the energies that can be in the level of different energy plasma conditions as we will incur in the space. In a way, the new technology rapidly will be released by the Keshe Foundation manufacturing teams in China, in Mexico, and in Austria. The new package will be very simple. You just add the additive into the paint and you paint it on the wall. It brings the stability of the temperature, it brings the increase in negative oxygen level, and increase in the level to balance any plasmatic fields which might enter the room or the space. For the first time, Keshe Foundation technology, as I said, 2021 will be the breakthrough time for the new science and technology. And as of today, we have launched the first steps of this development. We gave a gift last year, this time, to the Chinese nation to overcome and fight the process with the corona, which was used extensively and now has become part of their natural process of work. This year, today, inauguration of the new man with the peace, an anniversary of the One Cup, One Life, we give the air of life back to humanity. One system, in overcoming the possibilities of any kind of plasmatic field energies which does not match the body of the man. Would there be need for chemical intervention in the body of the man when these units are used in the offices, in the cities, in the trains and in the aircrafts, will become to be seen. In a way, Keshe Foundation as of today has entered a massive change in the structure of the life of the man on this planet. We have two requests from many of you, as we discussed with the people responsible at the Keshe Foundation yesterday. We request as many of you to become the agents of the Keshe Foundation, to start the spread and delivery of these units to every corner of this planet. Become a distributor. Distribute the knowledge through the technology, where the effect can be measured. When the companies, they put this machine on, there are tools that they can measure the level of negative oxygen in the air and confirm the change, which with it comes to confirm in the energy level that it can interact with the plasmatic fields of the environment. This is one of the major and the only solutions in the environmental level that can protect every man on this planet. Keshe Foundation has made every endeavor to be able to release this technology the right time, and I chose the time to be today. In so many ways, now we request and we ask the knowledge seekers, every single one of you, you told the cups, now promote the development of this technology that every man can change his environment of the breeding. Every man can change the environment of his work, the house, and the field of strength within where they live, that we now bring the space technology rapidly from deep space knowledge into the use of every day of the man, where we change the energy levels within the structure of the living quarters of the man. Does not matter what it'll be, that what we see as viruses in the space, and according to the confirmed report by the virus report of 2020 of the Corona experiments in Iran, showing the effectiveness of the technology on viruses, gives us the scientific backing to launch such a product. We stay correct, and at the same time is responsibility of all of you, not only to change the course, but to bring a new dimension, that in the coming weeks, multiple systems like this will be introduced. In the coming weeks, we'll introduce the new systems for water purification from any cancerous items, be it which is floating in the water. This will come not by talk, but on the back of the scientific report, which was handed over to the Italian government last year. And as you know, we give governments time. When they do not move, we bring the technology to public. In 2016, the Keshe Foundation was requested. Actually, 2015, the Keshe Foundation was requested by the Italian authorities to look into the water contamination in Italy. And we worked over 3 years with scientific research centers, and the data were from the Italian authorities to confirm that through the development of the new filtering system, we can use the plasma technology to reduce and eradicate most of the harmful elements in the waters of today. And in so many ways, the extensive report has been in the hand of the prime ministers and the president of Italy for over 12 months. And as we've seen with the key, we gave the governments 2.5 years, they did nothing. Now we release technologies that allows you to purify any liquid which you might use directly at home or in the industry. In so many ways, 2021 is the year of the evolution of the plasma technology, and we ask for all knowledge seekers to join us to deliver this to humanity. You can do it in a way of ordering the materials to be given or promote it to be sold. Many of you have lost your jobs. Many of you have the fear of economical reduction in your income. Keshe Foundation has moved and is moving as an industrial unit, as an industrial international organization to fulfill, to bring back some of these back to you, to take your pain or your worries. We ask, if you are wealthy and you don't need such economical support, to promote the new system which was released today. The paint and the water which were released in coming days, and in that process we bring the change. 2021 is the year of the change for introduction of the Keshe Foundation technology worldwide in a different way. In 2015 and 16, I invested millions of dollars of my own private cash to develop factories and bring systems that you could bring this technology. And we saw how those who were within us betrayed us, and they thought they walked away with it, but we took their souls. We took their souls by elevating it, that it found this level, that it has no and cannot do much harm, just but except to elevate their own position. This time, I invest in what I invested for 15 years, in the knowledge seekers. The Keshe Foundation factories are ready to bring the change. You promoted the cups. Now we promote the change in the environment. We are preparing the factories and our organization to be able to meet this challenge and deliver this challenge in the coming days and months. We have given one undertaking guarantee that the new air purification system will be delivered within 21 days out of the factories of the Keshe Foundation worldwide, which means within 30 days, these units will be delivered. We keep to this commitment unless the orders goes to the point that we can and we have to increase the production. We can meet the demand to the level that in any purpose you can use it. At the same time, we try to keep everything in a functionality that everybody can benefit by it. Make a gift, give it to the hospitals and let them see the result. Give it to places where people interact. Make authorities to understand. If you have connection with the airlines and what we call air industry, or you have connection with railways and public transport, these units has to be embedded in every system. We change the environment of interaction. And even if you have come in touch with the plasmatic energy fields from outside, it'll bring balance. It brings what is known as a positive move. Chinese government is using the paint in the military for high altitude positions in the Chinese, what we call military headquarters, to bring balance for the soldiers. You will see with this technology, when we tested it in China, they brought in some heavier smokers into the room, and by using the paint and the technology, they were all smoking, but we could see no smoke. We see the change in the direction. We gave a lot to the Chinese, but in so many ways, they betrayed us in every level of sharing knowledge. This is the habit of the Chinese government in the stealing technologies. And now we don't look at it as stealing, but we look at it as a contribution of theirs into the research of the Keshe Foundation that now we can share. We use China as a laboratory for the development of the new technologies for some years. Now we share the knowledge accordingly. In so many ways, what we deliver to you now is in the hand of the Chinese military and is used extensively. They asked me when I was in Beijing to develop a technology for them. I spent a lot of time, perfected it, and at the end, we were betrayed by the national security and the Chinese military to be taken for themselves. This time, we thanked them for allowing us to test, and we don't look at it as a betrayal, we look at it as for them providing a test facility bed for the knowledge seekers to be able to test and confirm. And now that the Chinese military are using this technology, we have the right to use it as the technology belongs to knowledge seekers and the Keshe Foundation. In so many ways, up to now you sprayed yourself with all sorts of cancers. Now we change the environment that the fields cannot even reach you, that you need to spray yourself. In so many ways, the new enhancement units for air and other systems which will roll out of the Keshe Foundation, what we call manufacturing units, is the beginning of the change for man to become man of space in a way for us to understand how to handle the viruses and at the same time bringing normality to life. In so many ways, is a gift to humanity, as we have given many gifts, and this process will change many of us. The new enhancement air system is a tested system by both Iranian nation through the cycle of the reports of the corona and through the Chinese national security in the army using it in Wuhan city and in their quarters and their industry as what they call the gas waters. In so many ways, as I was thinking yesterday, 2 years of my life in China has bear fruit. 2 years of working with the Chinese authorities, trying to develop different things, and as step by step, as we gave them the gift, they stole one by one of it. Now we know what they stole, and they have proven it works. Now we share it with you as public, that it has been tested, fully tested by 1.4 billion members of this human race on the banner of their national security. In so many ways, we are delivering to you a well-tested system to bring change to many of you. One of gifts will be sent in the next few days to the White House to protect the President of the United States as a gift for peace, as a gift for understanding of new technology. We send this gift to the White House on one base, that there should be no worries for world leaders to meet again and plan the peace of the future, but at the same time, the world leaders to understand how vulnerable they are. We saw the inauguration yesterday. Most shameful way to become a president, where we have to stay in distance and covered by masks. We don't even know who really is behind these masks, because it has become a cover for insanity. It's become a cover for man to do more wrong under cover of protecting whatever. My call upon to you, knowledge seekers, is simple. 2021 is the time for peace. 2021 is for the time for the new technology to be reached by every man, that we share a new horizon and life in the direction of the peace. We have to understand the work, and at the same time, one of the most fundamental changes which will reach you in the process of use of these systems which you deliver is hidden within it, and with the structure of it is the elevation of the soul of the man. This is the purpose of the new technology. This is not, and as I said, we are not here to deliver physical structures as the man has managed to do enough damage with delivering physical dimensions, materials and tools. With a new technology, as the soul of the man and the physicality of the man work together, the new science and technology which we deliver will do the same. The new enhancement unit is the new enhancement units, and the units to come for water processing is not only to purify, but to enhance the soul of the man too. You shall see the changes in the behavior of the man who live in this environment. Man will become a peaceful man. Man will become serene, and in that process will find new solutions and dimensions for him to live a normal life. In so many ways, we have reached the pivotal point of what I call the first steps towards world peace. The first steps towards understanding the preparation of life on this planet on the basis of the understanding of the totality. We don't strive to reach every man. We strive to reach every soul. When you use these units in your home, it's not you who gets the elevation, it's not who gets the security, it's the plant, the animals, and all that we share in. This process had to be put in operation, and in so many ways, everything happens for a reason and a given time. I ask you again, knowledge seekers, become the ambassadors of science and technology, and not just take when I need it. Behave as many of the Iranians did during the time of the corona last summer, to work collectively as one. Link up and understand how you can serve and bring the new changes. You have connections in any direction. Get in touch with the Keshe Foundation direct, who you have, where you have, and the sales team which is put in the background will take over and will do the rest of it. The reality is, you can measure. Next week, the Keshe Foundation will deliver a new unit to 2 medical doctors in Austria. That with this process, with this new technology, doctors will have the ability to ask those who are affected by different conditions of the environment and energy to be tested and see how fast we can change the dimension and the energy flow of the plasma within their body. Which means if you have a cold virus, how long would it take for body to show the reaction? If you have herpes virus, how long will it take for the body to show its reaction to overcome? If you have AIDS virus, how come and how long will it take for body to use? These units are in the back of what we call the present enhancement units and developed especially for the known viruses, which has been tested by the scientists and reported in the what we call coronavirus report of Tehran, which was published in June of last year and was given to world governments. The leading world governments received the report and they understood and understand its implication and application. In so many ways, as we enter into our 8th anniversary, we start celebrating the freedom of the man in a space from all sorts of energy packs that is continuous and does not matter if it touches the physicality of the man or a virus to the soul of the man. In this process, we teach more, and in the coming weeks we continuously proceed with the development of the new technologies that brings both the physicality and the soul of the man into balance, that it brings a peaceful condition. As we said, now we have a president who has felt the pain of a loss, and with it he'll bring the joy of happiness of life. And the Keshe Foundation will do everything in its power and the connections we have within the American administration and the Iranian government to make sure the steps and the levels of the peace maintained will be achievable across this planet. The change of technology will bring the change of attitude, and the change of technology will bring peace, that the progressive development of the science will keep mankind busy away from wars, but to see how they can give each other pleasure. Who can do more to bring more, and we change the gun policy with the guns policy, where we deliver guns to bring joys, but the guns will go silent. Today, the introduction of a new air enhancement is the first step for the Keshe Foundation. As I said, 2021. Every time in the world of the creation, we've seen 2 consecutive numbers. It's been a change in the process of humanity in one way or another. 1918, 2021, progressive development. And in so many ways, by March 21 this year, the true calendar will change to 14/2, which will bring peace to man, which will become the condition of the clock to work. And we invite you all to become men of peace through understanding of the operation of your soul. In my teachings, many of you tell us, I cannot find my soul. How can I confirm I have a soul? How can I confirm it exists? But as I said to many knowledge seekers, you don't look for your soul to appear. You look to see what your physicality manifests itself through your conduct in the dimension of the physicality. In so many ways, mankind needs to change. In so many ways, we bring the knowledge of peace, but peace has to come within the man to understand where his soul is, to understand the operation of his soul, to understand how his physicality interacts with his soul, and how the body of the man so cleverly has hidden the soul, the gem of his life, within its structure. If, as knowledge seekers, you have followed the work in all aspects of the teaching over past years, we have taught you many, many things, where sometimes when we bring it together, collectively will bring you the essence of life. Go back to the teaching. Go back to all what you understood in your biology and in your chemistry classes. You have the body of the man. You have the brain of the man in two halves. You have the physicality of the man in two halves, where the cross has brought the balance. In your physical condition, your body has arranged for the balance of your physicality under your foot. The brain and the soul have brought balance of physicality in your inner ear. But in so many ways, two power points, two power generations, two power systems, as we know in the knowledge of the plasma, the weaker gives to the gets from the stronger, and the stronger gives to the weaker to bring balance. A small size brain supports a big environment of the life. And we see in that conjuncture is where your soul is created. In so many ways, for the first time, any of you can understand and find the position of your soul. In a way, what your physicality does in operation and balance with your, what we call control of emotion, gives you the correction and the spot and the place where your emotion, interaction of the fields become the work of your physicality. In a way, you walk into what the soul has received, what the soul has decided to receive and to give. In a way, then you understand, you call it the destiny, we call it the work of the soul. Whatever the physicality has done in the process of going in to create balance with this brain of the man, with the emotion, becomes the cross conjuncture, the position where the totality decides and the soul of the man rules. In so many ways, maybe for the first time, mankind becomes aware that his conduct and interaction of it with his soul brings balance into physicality. Maybe now for the first time we understand how our physical feature decides our destiny, decides the way we think, decides the way we live, as the totality of the interaction of these fields with the fields of the planet and the fields of the other souls will dictate the destiny of the man. In so many ways, I was not supposed to be there, but I turned up to be there. Why? Because the soul had brought me to that point. If you would have told me some 3-4 years ago, I ever moved to Austria to bring the knowledge to this nation, to this part of the world, it would have been unbelievable. But now we know why. And why? The headquarters of the Keshe Foundation has moved into the city of Linz to bring balance to what happened in the Second World War and what we saw on the back of it, and where is the headquarters and the breeding grounds for what we call superiority in power has met the match with the power of the Creator. There is a reason we are in Linz, because the soul of the humanity collectively was balanced. In so many ways, as person we appear, but in totality, mankind has suffered through the backbone, the back structure of the Second World War, which started in the city of Linz to bring us back to start the balance. Because we never stopped the massive wars since the beginning of the Second World War. We have seen more death to come through the same structure of organization by killing more people in the past 80 years since the war in the and through the Second World War Initiative and the Keshe Foundation technology and the knowledge of universe has to come to the city where it was unbalanced, where the city, where the nation, and where the soul of the humanity wanted peace. Then you understand the soul of the man works collectively. We are just the tools to be there, to see, for it to become effective. It's the same as I said. The soul of the man is ready and decides the change. As I said last week, collective soul of the man yearns for change and peace, and collective soul of the man has brought me to the city of Linz, where the seed of the wars started some century ago. That we bring peace through the same process, the same city, the same grounds where the wars were planned, now the peace is planned. And then we see how the changes will bring changes to humanity. The century of the peace in 2021 has started. And many of you are instrumental in understanding this and in bringing forward. It's not just the knowledge seekers, but it's the soul of the man and the created things on this planet which move in that direction. And as we said, when one magnet moves, it moves the others to accommodate, to bring balance. When the soul of the humanity moves towards peace, the other souls of the Creator and the universal community will move to accommodate the entry of the man into the world of the creation and the universal community. My love and my peace to those who brings us this joy. And in so many ways, the beginning of the structure of the peace has started. And in so many ways, if you understood and you're searching for your soul, now understand where does my legs walk me into. What my soul has planned for me to do. Why am I here? What have I done? Or what am I supposed to do by my presence, which my soul has planned me to be? We think we'd like to be in a place, but if your soul has not been accommodated, you will achieve none. You can strive to become, but never reach it, because your soul is aware of what it might come to harm him or to harm you, or for you to find balance in the cycle of your life. In so many ways, the time for change has come, and we see the process of the change. We see, we understand, and we promote peace through the development of the new technologies which mankind needs today. Change of the environment, that it keeps us away from menace of the viruses. The change in the elevation of the soul of the man in a much more rapid way, that man in a short time become elevated in totality in the world of peace and understanding. And in so many ways, my love and my peace is in the hand of the beholder. In so many ways, share the knowledge as you share love, and share the knowledge as you distribute cancers. Unconditional, the way you spray, and bring the process of the peace through the elevation of your soul to elevate your leaders, that it becomes a peace process. We are not to become the point of the fear with a new technology, but we have to become the point of joy and pleasure to have, to share and to hold with all the created things. In so many ways, for the first time, in so many ways, collectively we strive to change the process of life in understanding the position of our soul, in understanding the essence of the creation of our soul. And now that you say, I want to see my soul, see where your physicality walks you to. as you see from the picture. It's very simple. It's a point where your emotion, the balancer, meets your physicality, where the interaction of the soul of the man brings changes to its dimension. This is not only for the man. Every created and every creation carries the same position, responsibility and interaction. Does not matter if you decide to be a plant to live a season, or you become the creator to live for eternity. The principle applies on both, and according to the generosity and the life of existence and the purpose of the creation. In so many ways, life never stops. In so many ways, mankind should have learned a long time ago from the seeds you eat, from the harvest you collect. You see the plant, it grows, and then it becomes a seed, and you see no life in it, but in fact has hidden life within it, and you cultivate it the next season, and you see the life grow again. This is how the soul of existence is. It never dies. It changes. And according to the position and the presence and the environment, it manifests itself in the same position and in the same direction in respect to the soul, but in respect to the environment it grows. You take wheat, you grow it in China. It gives you the flour. It reaches maturity and it gives you another seed. Now you take this seed and you grow it in the United States. It still does the same, but imitates to show its presence and in respect to the condition and the environment, new environment which has tested. This is how is the soul of the man. We are gathered as a seed of the soul. And then in coming time, we are reached the maturity of life. We gather knowledge and strength to become the seed. And when our soul travels to a new dimension, then it can grow again. But this time, its reaction and its growth and manifestation is in respect to its present environment. This is how we will travel the spaces of the universe. The physical life, the flower, the plant, when it goes and hides within the seed, the wind will take it across the span of the universe, and where it sows and it finds balance, it will grow. It will become a new seed, a new life in respect to the environment which is introduced to, and it still will flourish and become a flower. And it'll become another seed in the cycle of life, for another cycle, for it to be taken by the wind of the universe, across the universe, to grow in another position and dimension where it finds balance. As we said, there is no difference between the macro and micro. And in so many ways, mankind should have seen this, where the seeds and the flowers of the plants let their destiny to be in the hand of the winds, to bring them to a point that they can nourish and flourish and become another flower. This has been and shall be the condition of the soul of the man. We nourish our soul inside with our physicality, and at the time of its maturity, we will let it to be in the hand of the winds and sail across the universe to find its new position, to find its destiny. And there shall be, in so many ways, no changes unless the maturity of the soul to gather more knowledge in the new environment and in a time to flourish, to seed another position, to sow itself, and in that time become another seed in the wind of the universe to create a new life. In so many ways, today's teaching is very simple. You are looking how and where, Now look what I do and where and why. Why do I suffer? Because I caused the suffering to somebody else. Why do I go through the joy? Because I created the joy for others to enjoy. When you suffer, understand what you've done wrong that has come into be the suffering, and learn from it that you don't do it again, or you add to the knowledge that will not happen to the future generation. You cannot steal and hope that not be stolen from you through the conduct of your own soul. Your soul brings you the point of justice. You taken, you shall be taken from. In so many ways, mankind will learn very, very fast. Mankind will learn to be the seed that when it leaves this planet and becomes and sails on the winds of the fields of the universe, will grow in perfection, will grow according to its point. But as you've seen, a plant releases many seeds and not all grow. The ones which have misfunctioned have not managed to gather the right strength. When they land on the land, brought in by the wind, they will never grow. They'll be wasted. They become another pack of energy which will be nothing. And the seed which has grown to perfection, when it lands on the land, will grow and will seed. And that be soul of the man. Those who misconduct will go through the same phase. There'll be nothing left of them. And there shall be nothing with them. This is what we explained. What's going to happen to the soul of the man? How do you expect to have a beautiful flower when you have not gathered the right energies for it? In so many ways, those who steal from the soul of the man will pay through the conduct of the balance of their souls with their own life, with their own cycle of behavior. Instead of spending so much time thinking how to eat and what to eat, now that the technology has provided the man with everything he'll need, think, how do I conduct myself? How every move of me will become part of me at the point of departure, and what shall I take with me? You took, you shall be taken, unless you ask and you are given. This is the law of the creation. When you ask and you are given from a soul, this is a gift you are given. You have no more claim. But if you're taken, you shall be taken from, because the fields have to become in balance in all directions. This way, the man becomes the judge of himself and walks away from his misconducts of the past. You cannot intrude unless you're allowed to take part of. You cannot take another soul unless the soul has given its permission. This is the conduct and this is the way mankind will live. When your soul becomes a seed in the wind of the universe, where all accommodated, where you ask and you're allowed to be, become the place of your manifestation. You cannot just barge in and take a position. You ask and you're given is your right to stay, and your right to hold and to enjoy the presence and the time. Those who have stolen shall be stolen from through the balance of the fields of. And in so many ways, there is no claim on the soul of the man, except by the man himself. In so many ways, mankind should spend more time in understanding his conduct by himself to bring the balance, and then trying to create balance by force. Asking one question: can I ask and can I be given? And if I'm given, I have to be correct in conduct, not to do and misabuse. And then if it's misused and given the chance, then you will see the consequence of it. In the cycle of humanity, we've seen this in the near and in the past time and in the time to come. The prime example of it is the suffering of the tribe of Moses. No nation, no land, being nomads for centuries, were given a state of Israel. And instead of bringing peace amongst the people, as they would have learned from the suffering of centuries of themselves, they became ruthless killers and bringer of the pain. And for that reason, that state cannot exist, because the soul of totality, the creation of that state, has brought it to a new unbalanced situation, which bring an end to its own existence by the soul of those who have created it, as they see injustice amongst the others. We shall see the same with the state of China, where with the gifts given to them, instead of bringing peace and prosperity as they suffered for centuries, they went through the same abuse of lubricating and glossing what we call economical growth for the other nations, for the benefit to become leaders and the abuse of leadership in different ways. My call goes upon all nations. You are watched through your leaders and through your conducts, that any misconduct in totality you are all responsible for. We shall see the demise of the state of China if the same conduct of the presence will carry on. In a way, glossing the leadership by becoming another to bring more pain and suffering unto others. And as we have seen with the Chinese in Africa and other part of the world, that their presence become resentment to the nations through the misconduct of trying to do exactly what the Jews did in Israel by the Palestinians. The conduct of the leaders has to be correct and collectively for all humanity, and not for their area which they have been chosen to lead. This is that the world leaders will think collectively as world leaders, not the nation leaders. And this is why we established the state of the Universal Council, that there are no borders, and the soul serves the totality of the soul of the language mother. Now you understand how deep the work of the foundation has been set to parallel and to be in line with the work of the universal community, that man is ready to join the community. We have seen the example of this one in past few decades, where nations wanted to become part of European Union. They adjusted, they changed rules and they changed laws to fit, to become collectively one. This is how should be the position of the present world leaders, in the same way. How that we become one. And this is my wish. My wish is my command, and my wish will be obliged. In so many ways, mankind will become one kind, and in that process will become one nation that will take to the span of universe as one race, and not as one nation. And in that process, it becomes part of one universe. Mankind will learn very fast. We have started this process, and in the coming years, we will establish the great peace as we have started the process some years ago. In so many ways, my call goes upon the Universal Council and the Earth Council to work in one direction, to establish and start the establishment of one government, one nation, that you run through the world leaders and through them, through their soul. In so many ways, we have cleverly delivered our mission. We have very cleverly brought you to that point, and we celebrate that with the beginning of a life, a new life, on 21st of March, with no claim and no change. In so many ways, the change will come through the soul of the man, and with a new cycle of life. We will see and we will understand the process of the completion of mankind, to be able to enter, to understand, to see the universal community, to feel their presence and to become part of. My wish and my prayers are simple. Today, we delivered a new technology that will be in every household, in every corner of this planet, in one form or another. And in the coming weeks, we deliver more of the same technologies, that in totality, mankind will become kind to himself, and a new life shall start. In so many ways, for humanity to become changed. I have put the whole cycle of creation on one picture on the screen. It's according to your understanding and your intellect that you'll interpret this picture to the cycle of life, to the creation of the soul, to the conduct of the physicality that the soul of the man is responsible, and for the soul of the man to be responsible in respect to the others. And understand one thing, and I made this very clear. When you are asked and you are given, and then you intrude in what you have given, then you stand your own balance of the soul. You call it a balance or punishment, there is no punishment. You'll be brought to the position that you accept, the position what you have given and what you have accepted. And you cannot change it or try to intrude with it, as your soul will bring you to the position for the second cycle of suffering as you have now learned. You do not touch what is not yours and is given. And with it, you shall pay through the balance of your soul, with your own pain, physically, or your position in the direction of your soul. You do not need to be Hitler to kill so many to find no position you can do with the single soul of yours, with the misconduct of itself. In so many ways, mankind has to become mature to stand responsible for his own conduct and understand from now on, now that we have made and we are facilitating a comfortable life for man, man becomes responsible for the conduct of his physicality and the soul to become one. And in this process, man needs to mature. Man needs to grow into the second cycle. And in that process of second cycle means elevation of the soul, spreading the love of the Creator among the creatures of the universe, and not to belong to one nation and not belong to one planet, but belong to one universe. And in that process, all dogmas of today, that we become nationalists, religionists, and whatever politicians with the school of thoughts, we all become one, in one direction, to work and strive to achieve peace, first for our souls, and secondly for the soul of humanity and the planet and the universe. Mankind soon will face its Creator, and in that process, the creation will become easy for him to understand. My wish is that all you knowledge seekers and all those who listen and hear the voice of the Creator will come together to bring peace to humanity. In so many ways, my wish is my command. As a Creator, I wish that man reaches the point of maturity of peace and the evolution, elevation of his soul. Try to strive to understand the work of your soul through your physicality. And don't call it, I happen to be there. And it happened. You happen to be there because your soul has brought you to be there, as it's more powerful. If you look at the magnets when you put in the set, the magnet is physical and you see it moving to find its position. But in fact, it's the field forces of the others which has forced that physicality to be in that position. So you understand that when you enter a room and you serve, and you enter a room and you give, you enter the environment and you devote your life to serve, the other souls have seen you the same and brought you to be there. Your physicality is just a manifestation to show where you are. In essence, the fields do their work and they decide. I hope today's teaching brings you more enlightenment. And those of you who were waiting to see your own soul Now you understand the presence of your physicality, be it in the shop, be it in the operating table. Being as a president is one thing and one thing. To elevate your soul, and at the same time, to bring the collective soul of the creation and the creator to understanding of equality, peace, and balance. Use my knowledge and technology to bring peace, first of all, to your soul, and secondly, to the rest of the creator's beloved ones. In so many ways, understand one simple thing. Doesn't matter you're a strength of the physicality or a strength of the soul, it all has to be respected, and all have a life to live according to the time, the place, and the position. Till the soul and the physicality of the soul both decide where and how they want to move and how they want to elevate themselves or take possession of the new position. As I said, we walk you, and if it needs, we teach you, and if it needs, we give you every tool to evolve, to understand, and to mature. I hope today, which is for some of you already into next day or to the past day, will become the beginning of the new cycle. We will celebrate 21st of March together for the creation and the presence of the new cycle of life, for all souls of humanity to elevate to a new level and become detached from the dimension of physicality. As they say, many of you and many of your forefathers have been waiting for the day of promised day. And it's about to arrive in the promises to your own soul and the dimension of the existence and totality. The change will come, does not matter how man celebrates or cries, because at the end will be what will be good for totality of the creation and the creator. My love and peace goes to all your souls, and I hope you'll find the path between your physicality and your soul with the new teaching and the new technologies which allows you to elevate to that position. In so many ways, maybe mankind is ready to enter the universal community in 2021, and with it bring peace and prosperity. Let us see how collectively the soul of the man will accommodate the change. And I wish you a safe journey in this journey of life, with your soul and with your physicality, and to understand the changes has to come, as it has to be so rapid, otherwise it'll take too long to implement. Thank you very much for today. And as we enter our 8th year, the year of balance, as is tradition by the Chinese way, the lucky number will come to mankind, 8th year of teaching of the new technology and science to those who believe in the path of balance, as the 8 is the infinity and the balance of the figures. Thank you very much, and I hope you understood the essence of the teaching and not the pictures and physicality of the pictures. Would you like to go through a break and then we go back to the teaching?